going on, people? Rasatyat here in Singapore, and thank you so much for joining me on my Night Owl podcast. It's been a little while. I know I'm slacking a little bit, but I've really been understanding more about myself is the fact that I'm a little burnt out. I think I've done all the podcasts that I could possibly do, but I don't want to be done yet. I think that I'm still learning. I think there's still plenty of information for me to share. And so what I'm trying to do instead is kind of understand what it is that's got me stalled and why it is that I'm still trying to process. So what I think I've figured out so far is the fact that I think at the moment I'm rambling. I'm not so much teaching as much as I'm just spouting stuff off the top of my head. And that's not what I was intentionally trying to do. I want to teach. I want to share what it is that I'm finding out or discovering about myself. I want to share with you the different types of viewpoints that I'm seeing, the different applications of a piece of content. And that's the part that I think got me stuck and burnt out because I didn't feel like my heart was in it anymore. I didn't feel like I was teaching because I wanted to teach. I felt like I was kind of just going through the motions. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing it because you have to do it. You're doing it because you've told people you're going to do it. I made this big announcement that I'm going to hit 1,000 podcast episodes by the time December 31st rolls around. Well, guess what? I'm slacking, y'all. I'm way behind. And I can't even tell you how many episodes I'm behind. But rest assured that I'm actually going back and making sure that I create every single episode that I need to, because I'm not about to do any shortcuts. I'm not about to change my end goal. I want to hit 1,000 still. And really, 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 if I can't, okay, fine. But I'm not going to stop trying until midnight on the 31st of December, just before the clock strikes. So I have until then. I have plenty of time. I know in months past when I was behind, I've done as many as 11 podcasts in a day, as in sit down and really record them. But that also means that I've been archiving and saving ideas and content for months on end. Now, for those of you who do know, I've been doing the Daily Dose pretty much every day. There have been a couple of days that I do skip, usually on a weekend, just to kind of give myself time and space for me. And other than that, that's still a lot of content. I think part of the reason I was getting burned out is because I felt like I was giving brand new content in like 10 different places. And suddenly it was like, well, what do I talk about in my podcast then? Do I need to have new content? Do I expound on an existing piece of content? Is that okay? I don't know. So I guess that's part of the reason why I was kind of stretched thin and not enjoying the process, kind of going through the motions and bored, to be very honest. So once I realized that, it was a matter of, okay, well, what do I do from here? How do I fix this? How do I get my mojo back? How do I get that excitement back in my life? How do I start speaking to you guys like I actually mean what I say and I want to teach you guys or want to show you what exactly I saw? Because for a while there, it was kind of like rambling and yawning and rambling. And let me tell you something. I have recorded at least 15 episodes, get to the 5 to 7 minute mark, and I'm like, nah, this doesn't work. And I scrapped the whole damn thing. So that's where I've been, stuck in this limbo place where I'm not really inspired, but I do have stuff I want to talk about, but it's just not coming out of me. So I had to sit for a minute. I had to think about what was going on. I think I did an episode recently where I was talking about the fact that I had to process a lot of the things that are going on in my own heart, in my own life. Strife, conflict, chaos, all of that stuff. It happens to all of us. And it wasn't until I heard an episode from Mastin Kipp where he was talking about the fact that he would rather hear from a therapist who has been through 5,000 hours of therapy for themselves rather than someone who just went through the motions or got the degree because they attended all the classes and now are helping other people. Like, I feel the same way. I want to be that person who's been working on myself. And because I've been working on myself, I feel pretty good about the fact that I'm going to teach you because I've put into practice the things that I'm about to share with you. And I think that's worthy, right? I think that's, I don't know, it makes me feel good about what I'm doing. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm not preaching to the choir. I'm not telling you a bunch of stuff that I'm not about to do. It's the leader in me. Whenever I was in a job situation where I was working with a team, what I made sure I did was I knew everyone's job and I was capable of doing everyone's job. And so when I asked them what they were going to do or if they could do something for me, they knew I wasn't offloading shit I didn't want to do. And they knew I wasn't asking them to do it because I couldn't do it. I'm genuinely asking for their help because I need an extra set of hands. I need an extra set of eyes. I need their prowess, their intuition, their intelligence. I need what it is that they have to be able to do the job as best as possible. So with that being said, it's the same approach I'm taking to my coaching. I want to make sure that if I'm going to sit there and tell you what to do, it's because I've been there and done that, and I've tried the other way and it didn't work for me. But that doesn't mean that it might not work for you. I'm going to tell you what I tried, and if you want to try it, go ahead. But I'm also going to tell you what happened at the tail end of that. What was the circumstance, and what was the, the consequence of that circumstance and the action that I took in that moment. So here I am letting you know that, yeah, I confessed the other day on the podcast and said that, you know what, I'm dealing with some demons myself. And today I'm telling you, it finally clicked. I realized I was going through the motions because I've done so many of these and I'm doing so much different content. The Daily Dose is shared on TikTok first because I like the filter on there, and I like the fact that it automatically tells people to follow me on TikTok because my TikTok handle with the TikTok logo is in the corner. From TikTok, I actually share it onto Twitter, onto Instagram stories, into my Facebook feed, and then also onto LinkedIn. So that's 45 seconds or so of content, brand new content every day that is a daily dose of inspiration. Then I'm trying to get back into the swing of things with my Instagram feed, and that's another micro blog with an image that has something to do with mental health or what it is that I'm dealing with at the moment or what it is that I want to teach today. And then comes my podcast. So for a while there, I wasn't sure if it was allowed. I mean, obviously I make the rules, this is my brand, but I wasn't sure if it was redundant or irritating, right? Because I'm already doing 45 seconds worth of an idea. And that is actually a lot of time, enough for me to get your mind geeked up about a new idea, get your emotions moving a little bit, get you inspired to do an action rather than think some more about whether or not you should do something. So here I am thinking that the Daily Dose is great. I love what I do. It's really easy for me to create and drop out there. But then can the podcast, which is about 10 to 15 minutes, is it worth it to expound on that same 45-second piece of material for a little bit longer? Is that okay? Would that be redundant? Would it be irritating to you guys? And honestly, I just figured that I was capable of more, so I decided, no, I'm not going to be redundant that way. I'm going to do something new. So 3 pieces of content a day, actually not bad, it's doable, but when you're backlogged, it looks like a mountain amount of work. So here I finally figured out what it is that's bothering me, why it doesn't sound like me anymore. It sounds very mundane and robotic. I hated it. So that's why I scrapped like 15 to 20 podcast episodes, and here I am trying again. So we're here. I know what I need to do. I know that I was going through the motions. I realized that I want to be teaching rather than just documenting, and though the documenting will help along the way, more of it is to teach, to share, to help you understand where it is that I went wrong, what mistakes I made. Like, I'm not perfect by any means, so I want you to take the benefit of my mistakes to be able to apply to your life. So, going forward, I am looking to get my mojo back, be excited about teaching again, and to be honest, I'm just glad that I kind of sorted this out. It would have been very easy for me to put this on a back burner and just avoid, procrastinate, but then it wouldn't get me anywhere, honestly. And I'm not going to lie, it hurts my feelings sometimes when I do take the time to sit down and speak to people or teach people. And just like any teacher, if you have a group of, let's say, 30 students in a classroom with you and not a single one of them shows up on time or is paying attention, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to rethink, well, should I be doing this? Because obviously I can't hold their attention. Maybe I should just quit. And so, yeah, I was in that limbo space. I had lost that excitement. I was no longer interested in teaching, and honestly, I felt like I was doing so much better when I didn't have a class to teach. But I had to venture out into that space. I had to realize that, you know what, maybe Facebook is not the best place for me to teach. Maybe it would be better if it was face-to-face, but COVID, and so you do the best you can. You wing it as much as possible, and as you wing it, you realize what works and what doesn't work, and you keep tweaking, you keep changing, you keep adjusting. And so here I am with a new outlook on all of this, and I'm ready to try again, y'all. So if you bear with me, here goes nothing. But thank you so much for listening. I hope this made sense to you. I hope it gives you a little bit of hope, because maybe you find yourself stuck as well. Maybe you find that you've plateaued out in your business and you've been doing this thing, it's been great for this long while, and now you're like, well, shit, do I really still need to do this? Is it really worth it? But I have this goal, you see, and I don't want to give up on that goal. I think it's a humongous mile marker for me, especially, and I'm not about to give that up to nobody. So I'm going to keep on chugging at it. I'm going to keep on trying. Yeah, there are going to be a couple of episodes that aren't going to be great, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I need you to see that sometimes I fail. I need you to see that sometimes it doesn't all come out golden. The goose that lays the golden eggs sometimes passes gas and does not lay an egg. So I'm okay with that. And if you have any questions or comments, please drop them below. I think I'm ready to hear them. But until then, don't lose hope. It's natural to plateau. Even if you talk to people who are gym rats, right? It's natural to plateau. You do the same types of exercises and suddenly you don't see any more gains, and you can, do the reps till exhaustion and you still don't feel like anything's changing much. So you got to change the exercise and change the way you do them. And then you find that you hit another level after that. So it's cool to plateau, just not for very long. And I'm done plateauing for now. It's time to level up again. I love you guys. I'll catch you again soon. Bye.